Hey friends, my name is Gerald and I'm a personal finance YouTuber. So why am I doing this again? So anyways, late last year I bought my very first home. So in the end, my partner and I decided to go for a very controversial move, and that is to buy a resale unit, a ground floor HDB flat. It's been a couple of months, we are almost done with the renovation, and I can tell you, I couldn't be happier. I really wanted to do a home tour this week, but unfortunately we could not get the curtains up because first, there were no contractors available, and secondly, when we tried to do it ourselves, our drill bit actually melted because we thought it was like metal bars on top, but turns out it was concrete. Yeah, so then we had to buy a new drill bit, which takes like a couple of weeks to arrive. So our home renovation completion was delayed. I know, Kelvin, you've been asking to see the home tour, and I'm sorry I have to make you wait. But I promise you, when it's done, I will share with you all. And for those of you who like to see the home tour, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comment section below. So just to give a bit of a backstory, I grew up on the second highest floor with my family, and right now I live on the ground floor. So I kind of have experience living in both almost top floor and ground floor, right? And I've been through the whole HDB booking process. Like I didn't try BTO because the wait was too long because of all the delays. I did try balance or resale, and when it came to my turn, there was literally only one unit, like second floor, that was available that in the area that I wanted. So I also tried open booking, so that's a speed test. How fast you get determines your place. So I completed, like, from inputting my employment history, my wife's employment history, to making and completing the payment. That took me 47 seconds, which I think was really fast, and my number was at the 300th plus. In fact, the first person completed the whole thing in 8 seconds. And I found out when you have completed it before, you have a unfair advantage. So you can, like, click a button and pre-fill everything. So for those of you who are like trying to bid and get your first HDB the first time around, I completely empathize. I know how hard it is. Keep trying, and eventually you'll be able to find a home, and when you get it, you're gonna fall in love with it. So in this video, I hope to share my joy, several reasons, as well as my experience in living on the ground floor, and hopefully that'll give you some perspective for those of you who are wondering, should you get a ground floor unit in Singapore? So when it comes to buying your first property, budget is always a very key constraint. So personally, I was on a tight budget, and it was a choice between like a high floor and a less popular area, like Canberra, Woodlands, or maybe lower floor in a better area. And of course, there's also the other consideration of getting a smaller space, like maybe a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom in like a much more closer area like Boon Keng, or getting like a larger area, 4-room, possibly even 5-room if I get areas like Woodlands. And so this brings me to my very first reason to why I even chose this ground floor, and that is because it's next to the MRT. Not only is it right beside the MRT, it was like a sheltered walkway, so I could walk to the MRT without an umbrella, even if it's like raining cats and dogs. Another key consideration was that we wanted convenience when it mattered. It doesn't matter if the home is far when you're coming back from work because you're not in a rush, but in the morning when you're trying to get to work, you really need that extra bit of convenience, and it helps a lot. So as you can see, I timed the whole process. I was walking at ordinary pace, I wasn't running. The second reason to why we chose a ground floor unit, apart from accessibility to MRT, is that it's super convenient. Convenient in the sense that I've never seen a red mart delivery man any happier. Like, it was like, whoa, ground floor, so convenient. Throughout the whole renovation process, we needed to carry a lot of bulky, heavy items, from IKEA, however you pronounce it. And it was just terrible when I needed to walk through, the bus from the bus stop to my house, like 10 minutes walk to my mom's place in the past. Right now, it's so convenient. It's like 1 minute from the bus stop. There's no need to wait for the lift, especially when you're like rushing to work and the lift stops at like every level. It's just stressful. So it was during these times of conflict that I was super thankful that I bought the ground floor unit instead of like a high floor unit that we almost bought. And now moving on to the third reason to why we chose the ground floor unit, and that is that it is value for money. I mean, I literally get a larger space at the cheapest price. And I'm not talking about low floor unit, I'm talking about like ground floor units. Like, if you look at the HDB stats, my property is significantly cheaper than the rest, and in terms of size, it is slightly bigger. And I try to understand why, but it turns out that a lot of developers, not just HDB flats, but also for condo units, they try to incentivize people to buy the ground floor unit, because traditionally people try to avoid the ground floor unit, and developers want to sell it off, so they incentivize ground floor buyers by making the space slightly larger. So if you ask me to kind of quantify how much larger it is, well, I currently live in a 4-room flat in Punggol, and I thought it was the norm, but I think a lot of my friends commented that my bathroom was quite a little bit larger because I can fit like a 1.5-meter bathtub inside my 4-room HDB flat. I mean, of course, if I want to be honest, there were some struggles, but generally we managed to get it in. Apart from the slightly larger space, we also have a extra tall ceiling. Just to give you perspective, it's 3.65 meters. When I try to jump at maximum height, with my racket, I still can't touch the top of my ceiling. It's double my height. It's super tall, and I never have to worry about accidentally hitting the ceiling fan. But even though we didn't decide to get one in the end. So admittedly, I have to say that we do have a lot lesser corridor space as opposed to living on higher floors. But in return, we also get a very nice garden. I was thinking of putting like a seesaw out there, but then I didn't want like people to throw trash or use food or stuff that they do on their bedroom onto my seesaw. I know that people say that this is technically HDB's property, but if you are, good with your neighbors, people don't complain. So yeah, it's pretty nice. If you want more space, ground floor is good. And the fourth reason why we bought a ground floor unit is that it's not noisy. I mean, this is unit dependent, so you kind of have to select the right kind of unit to avoid high noise level. So for ours, because we were blocked by the electrical substation and I have a garden right outside my place, it blocks away like most of the noise. And in fact, the noisiest thing in my house right now that annoys me the most is actually my Xiaomi fan that is used to blow my mining rig, which is my laptop.
Hey, penguin!
And of course, my lovely cats who always meow for food. So super lovely.
Swagger pose, you two.
I think there are some ground units that are right beside the road, and there are some that are right beside the highway. Those experience much higher noise level compared to say my area. Even though admittedly I'm right beside the bus interchange, I don't face the bus interchange, so I don't have the added noise coming from the buses, right? So yeah, I think there's a lot of factors there, but the particular unit that we chose, we liked it because there wasn't a lot of noise, and I had to be sure. So I kind of camped outside for like a day. Camping at 8 a.m. to find a nice property in the neighborhood. My gosh, I'm tired. Say hi to noise. Ha!
Oh, you can hear the engine is much louder, right?
16 hours I just sat, drink kopi and just sit like some creepy guy, just observing the noise. Because apart from surrounding noises like vehicles and stuff, I was also very careful to select and made sure that there were no very noisy neighbors. Like there are some neighbors that loves to sing karaoke every single night, or they play drums. So drums I think not so bad, but karaoke, especially like the older estate, some of them they just do it habitually for years. So then it can get very, very disruptive if you want to say film a YouTube video. So that's why I made sure that my unit had no noise, and that's one of the reasons why I love this unit despite it being on the ground floor. Even though ground floor is not actually a bad thing. But one thing I must say though is that there's a lot more disruptions from festivities. Like for example, usually it's a funeral, unfortunately. When I hear funerals, the noise really hits on the ground floor a lot worse as compared to when I was staying in my mom's place. We were at the second highest floor. We don't really hear the noise very much. So for this particular point, is unit dependent, but for my particular unit, here's my reason. And for the fifth reason why I chose a ground floor unit is that, again, unit dependent, it is not smelly. But not every ground floor unit is like right beside the rubbish disposal area. In fact, some are clearly on the opposite end of the disposal area, which might be better than those that are like level 2 or level 3. This reminds me of the time when I went to this particular second floor unit. And I like to test the sellers, right? I'll ask, what time do the rubbish disposal come? And there was this one particular incident. Before I even finished the sentence, I was like, and I was asking like, hey, do you know what time 11 o'clock the disposal comes? 11 o'clock. I'm like, whoa, you know what time, my friend. Because back when I was in my mom's place, I was staying on the 13th floor. I have absolutely no idea when the disposal guy would come. I know it's in the morning, but I don't know exactly when. And even though I moved into this ground floor, if it was not for the lady, I wouldn't have known that the truck disposal comes at 11 a.m. And I was super kiasu. I was worried this unit would be able to smell the rubbish disposal. So what I did, right, was that again, I camped outside the unit for an entire day. And through the morning, I was waiting for the disposal to come and try to kind of smell.
Oh, my good friend, the rubbish truck. Woo. That pump in action. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. There it goes. There we go. Damn. Hang on in this moment. Just a little bit longer. Just that 3 seconds more. And bye-bye. Yeah, so it's this timing at around 9:34 that the rubbish truck is here. So when I'm at this distance, I actually don't smell it. It's quite clean somehow. Yeah, so this is where all the rubbish truck is. So I'm gonna experience the full thing. Keep you updated. Look at all the pumping going on. Oh shit. Leaking water. Oh fuck, that's damn smelly. Woo! Time to get the hell out of here.
And as it turns out, actually, right, the smell outside the rubbish disposal area is not filthy until they open the shutter, and they only take about 10 minutes to open, clear the shutter, close it, and that's really all the smell that you would smell. So while I really respect the people that can, live beside the rubbish area, because I don't think I can, it's not as unbearable as I think most people make it out to be. But I must say though, when it comes to fumigation, when they try to fume, right, the insects that if you live beside the rubbish chute, is terrible. And because I live from the furthest possible end from the rubbish disposal area, I thankfully do not experience any difference when it comes to the when it comes to the fumigation time. And then this brings me to point number 6, which is this isn't something that I chose the unit for. Actually, I expected there were a lot more insects because I'm going to live on the ground floor for the first time in my life.
So there's a bunch of ants over here, all the way up to this drain. And the size of these ants are the size of a 10-cent coin, maybe a 20-cent coin. These are huge. These are not your tiny ants, man. Yeah, they're definitely thicker than the metal railings.
But it's actually better than I expected. Like, I thought that there'll be plenty of ants. Ironically, the ants don't really invade. They do try to attack my water kettle, the hot water. But other than that, I don't really have an ants infestation problem. And there is one instance of a lizard after I think 6 months in, but I managed to drive it out without killing it. And we do see a lot of rat sighting, but they have never entered the house. But I think what was most annoying for me was that the occasional fly that I would see, like once every week, I would see this fly buzzing around the house. So that's the most annoying part about living on the ground floor. I hope that my sharing gave you perspective as well as a couple of neat tips when it comes to selecting your unit in Singapore. There are definitely cons when living on the ground floor, and I'm going to compile them over here. If it's not out yet, check out what YouTube recommends you over here and here. And any questions you want to ask me, just feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe during COVID, everyone. Bye-bye.